Hi everyone! Thank you for joining us today in our webinar. It's really great to see you all and I hope you all are doing very well. My name is Yasmin and I'm the marketing manager here at Cention. Today we'll be presenting about how to work smarter with automation part 2. This is our second series in our automation webinar. They'll be presented by our very own business manager, Veta. Without further ado, over to you, Veta.
Thanks, Yasmin. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining on our second episode webinar where we talk about automation and how you can set up your team for success, especially when handling customers' inquiries, and how we can help you to build a beautiful customer journey across all touch points. A little bit before that, we're going to talk about or give you an opportunity to explain what Cention does. So we are an omni-channel company. That means we help our customers to consolidate all communication efforts into a single platform so that we can get back to customers in time and to basically build a beautiful relationship with customers because they are what matters. So what we do is we consolidate calls, emails, social media, so that you know what your customers are talking about you. Instant messaging tools like Messenger, WhatsApp, Twitter DM. So all of these touch points are then consolidated into Cention, so you can organize them, reply back to a customer, and we have tools that help you to work faster. So that's what we're going to talk about today on automation. So if you find yourself spending a lot of time organizing tickets or emails before you reply to them, if you spend time segregating or assigning cases to agents so that they can respond back to customer, I think Cention would help to save more time so that Cention does the organization part and it allows your agent to work faster and better. So you save a lot of time, and of course customer don't wait as long because all agents do is focus on getting back to customer with the right answer. So before we go into that, let's look at how Cention is set up, what functions or features are made available for our customers that they use to organize their contact center so that everything is in order and it's automated to an extent where agents don't do much manual processing work. All they do is just focus on handling customers' requests. So let's jump right into it. So here we are looking at Cention Dashboard. Here we are setting up a queue within Cention. So as we can see here in this queue, there's for this webinar, we created a queue separately for this session. So here we have few functions, features. Here we can see that there's hold time for my errand. That means you're assigning a specific time, how long an agent get to work on a case. So maybe I'm going to put here as 30 minutes. That means each agent has 30 minutes to work on a case. If 30 minutes has passed, then the ticket will be reassigned to someone else or to a group, and it will be reassigned with a higher priority so that you can go ahead and get back to customer. So we also have warning mechanisms or notification to alert if, let's say, an interaction is going to be breached in terms of SLA. So here maybe I'm going to put as 1 hour, and here's general expiry time. So this is the SLA. So maybe in our SLA we can put it as 2.5 hours. Excuse me. So here what it means is 2.5 hours is where the ticket would expire, but in 1 hour I'll be able to inform the team that the ticket is about to expire so that you can proactively go in and assist the agent so that the customer doesn't wait longer than expected. So let's scroll down a little bit more. Let's look at other automation features that we can set up. So we also can postpone errands. That means we postpone our response back to the customer. Sometimes we want customers to receive our replies at a much later time, or maybe a suitable time for customers reading. So you can enable this feature so that Cention would send a reply or a response back to customer at the assigned time. We have due date function, where once you enable yes, so due date informs the team and the customer that a ticket has already been breached. So customer don't really need to ask for a follow-up or reply back asking for a follow-up. Cention would then remind the customer or inform the customer that the team requires more time to handle the ticket. So with the example earlier, let's say we have 2.5 hours SLA. If you set your due date to be 2.5 hours as well, then at the 31st minute of the 2.5 hours, customer would receive a notification saying that that you need more time to handle customer's case. So here's the free text. Here's where you include your notification. So I'm going to type here. I've typed here earlier that this is a reminder, and we are still working on your case. We appreciate your patience, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. So this is really important, so that customers don't wait for your email. Even if you guys need more time, Cention can help you to inform customers so that they are aware you're being customers' inquiries is being looked at. In case if you wish to delete emails, sometimes we receive spam or emails that are not relevant to the contact center. Cention can actually help you to delete all of these tickets that are assigned to a particular queue. So here, what this means is, as soon as an email or tickets that are handled or that are assigned in Cention in this queue, after 1 day, this ticket would then be deleted out of the system. So you don't need to manually go in and clear your mailbox. Cention will do that for you. So moving on, other automation features that would help your team work faster. So we spoke about how we set up the tool and how you segregate and you prioritize some tickets, how you can inform customers if you need more time. So here is where we help the agents work faster and better. So as soon as a ticket comes in, Cention has two functions that we are going to highlight right now, auto tag and auto routing. So you respond back to customers faster with more information, and at the same time, it's going to help your reporting so that you are on top of every communication. You would know in real time what are the type of communication that you receive, what are the nature of the interactions, so that you can make more sound decision for your team. So to set up this feature, let's have a look. Here we're going to look at the routing function. These are automated functions. So we're going to look at how we configure this. Gives you a bit of an idea how Cention does or how Cention automates this function. So here we have routing. So here there are a couple of options, either from, which means which customer is it coming from, subject, meaning what's the content in the subject, and to. So I'm going to choose subject and text. So which means if in the subject or text, if there's any keyword that contains Cention Omnichannel, it will be then routed to the area Cention Omnichannel. So it's based on keywords. Let's try to be as precise as possible. You can have as many keywords as you wish. The more accurate. The more keywords that you have, the more accurate the routing would work. So let's try to avoid vague terms. So it's better to use straight to the point terms like about Cention here. So that each of this case that are about Cention, if customer were to ask about Cention, it would then be routed to inquiry, for example. So I'm going to choose inquiry here. So anything to do with about Cention in the subject or the body of the email, it would then be routed to the right team. So moving on, we're going to look at how we set up auto tag. So first we have handled the routing, and here we're going to look at automatically tagging cases. So auto tag is important. It helps us to classify, or in other words, disposition interaction, so that we know what are the nature of each cases, so that you know how many complaints that you get. So I'm going to create a new auto tag here for inquiry. So here I'm going to also choose again subject and text. So this inquiry is about a fast food restaurant. So I want to know if customer were to have any word of fast food in the subject or the body of the email, it would then be routed to restaurant type fast food, QSR fast food. So without a human intervention, or without anyone needing to read the email and then tagging the case, Cention would do that on behalf of you, so that we can know how many fast food cases that you receive, type of emails that you receive on a given day. So this is as easy as possible, so that you can create routing tags, as many as possible, so that this will be helpful for your reporting, which is what we're going to take a look next. So in reporting, here's how it looks like. So these complaints, sandbox product A, after sales, sandbox product A, general inquiry, these are tags. So basically these are tags that helps us to identify what are the nature of the issues, how many complaints that we receive in a day, how many of them are regarding after sales, how many of them are regarding general inquiry. So we also can have a breakdown of what are these cases about. All we need to do is just click on them. So let me just go ahead and click on, let's see how many complaints I receive. So I can have a breakdown of complaints. So let's say I want to know how after sales, how many calls, how many emails regarding after sales. And here I would like to see how many spam that I've been received. So I can see there's 3 spams from Facebook. If I click on it further, it's going to take me, I can drill down to see what are the individual tickets, who handled them. So let's see if I need to export this report. We can also export this to Excel. And let's say if I need this information for my weekly meeting on Mondays. So I can choose here that I need this report to be sent to me every Monday at 8 a.m. So I can choose which channels I want to focus. Is it only emails or calls or Facebook? So in this case, I want to choose all of the channels. So I want to know all of the complaints that we are receiving in a given month or day, and which area. So basically these are the queues that are set up in the system. So interval, is it the same day or the same week? And here's the email address where I type in. So who would be the one who received this report? So usually it's a group distribution email. So what this means is every day, every Monday before I start my meeting at 8 a.m. Cention would compile this report for me, and they send it over to me in Excel format, so that I can use this for my meeting, or I can actually use this to make my own database or report out of this Excel sheet. So it's really simple, and it's an automated feature. So moving on, we have spoke about compartmentalizing or organizing your tickets or emails, interactions from customers. We spoke about few automation features that helps your agent to work faster, handle cases faster, identify what are the type of issues. So now we're going to look at how Cention can help you to work faster by answering on your behalf. So most of the time, contact centers, we receive similar type of questions where it's somewhere around commonly asked questions or a FAQ, and agents would usually use the same type of answer because you want to be consistent when reaching out to your customers. So here Cention has features where it enables you to get back to customer and answer to the customer in the quickest possible way. So let's see how this is done. So here I'm handling a case from a customer who's asking us about our working hours. So as we see from the bat, let me reply to this customer. Thanks for reaching out. We are operating 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and 365 days. We are here if you need anything. Smiley face. So here's a response. It's a personalized response. Although we can't send this response to all the customers who ask about our working hours, but me as an agent, I have my approach of replying to customers. So as we can see, Cention automatically has greeted the customer, hey, hi Veda, at the top. And all I need to do is just type in my question, or type in my answer to customer's question. So what we can do once, if let's say the agent realizes this is a part of an FAQ, or if I see there's a trend of customers asking these type of questions, I can go ahead and suggest this to Knowledgebase. So what happens if I suggest this to Knowledgebase? The Knowledgebase admin would get a suggestion, so that moving forward, all of the agents or the whole team would be able to use this answer to answer back to the customers. So I'm just going to go ahead and send this so the customer receives this reply. And now let's have a look how admin sets up this suggestion. So I'm in an admin profile here. So we just sent a suggestion earlier about our working hours. So the suggestions are here. So we have a couple of suggestions. I'm going to look at the one with the operating hours, the one we just met. Okay, so here's the question. Cention also identifies the question. So here we try to keep it to the point, or try to keep it to the content. And the answer here, I might want to remove the other elements that might not be helpful and focus just on the answer alone. So once that is satisfied, I can either make this available externally, which means you can point this knowledge base externally on your website, or if you have an app. In our previous webinar episode, we spoke about customer self-service. So this would be really helpful if you want your customers to find their answers by themselves, which is a great way to improve customer journey. So moving on, we can either make this available or time control if you want this knowledge base to be available during a given time, or if it needs any follow-up question after answering this question. So once done, all I need to do is click accept, and then this knowledge base is then added into the library. So how do we handle this case, or what does this really mean is knowledge base is a growing tool. Each and every time you experience a different type of trend in your operation or in your customer service initiative, Cention is able to pick up on those trends and able to help your agents to answer back to customers at a shorter time, so that you can focus on the other meaningful or the other part where the agent built a meaningful relationship with customers. So it helps you to answer. So let's see how this works now in action. So earlier there was an email, but now let's switch to Messenger. So customers asking us, what is our operating hours? It does seem like a different type of question, but here we can see Cention has automatically added in the answer. So agent, all they need to do is go ahead and review. If I need to answer or add in more information, then I can hit send to send this reply to the customer. So it's easy as that. Instead of spending time typing, going through the questions, Cention would then suggest the answer. All the agent needs to do is just review and hit send, and the answer is sent out to the customer. Another important aspect is for us to know what our customers think about us, especially after an interaction, or after closing a case, after raising a complaint, or after a general inquiry. We might want to know what customers think about us. Here's where satisfaction survey comes in and answers or provides with insight to what customers have to say about the recent experience. So here we're going to set up a survey, but we also going to have a look at other automated features. So we have a function called receipts and greeting. So let's create a new receipt and greeting. So here we can see a receipt. There's few type of automated. There's receipt, there's greeting. Greeting kind of greets the customer automatically rather than you typing it out. Or you can inform the customers that you're out of your working hours. We're going to focus on, this is closed receipt. So basically, just like greeting, how you greet customer when they send in a new ticket, you inform the customer once the ticket is closed so that they are aware. So each queue gets its own closed receipt. So does feedback, which is going to be the focus right now. So here feedback basically is a survey where we ask customer on a question. It could be a question assigned to your queue. So that means each area get its own type of feedback. So you can have different type of questions set up depending on the area. So you have a couple of questions here. We can ask option 1 to option 5. So you can configure based on how you would want a customer to send their feedback. So each option customers choose, you have a feedback response. So let's say option 1 being the lowest, then your feedback response is going to be contact me. If customer choose other feedback options, here's where we configure them. We can type in, we can upload files, we can also put in details so that if customer isn't satisfied, there's an opportunity for you to salvage customers' relationship so that you can actually get them to understand the situation better, or maybe an effort from your side to assist the customer better so that their impression towards the product or the service changes or improve. So here's a great way to understand customer better and go the extra mile in helping them experience and enjoy the service that you offer to the customer. So aside from automation, again, like I mentioned earlier, Cention is a tool that helps you to go where your customers are at. So live chat feature is also a place where customers often go to in need for assistance. So sometimes they reach out through WhatsApp, through chat widget on your website, because they need fast response. They want to know the answer to the questions that they have. So rather than emailing or sending a Facebook comment, typically customer would like to call, live chat, or send in a Viber text or a WhatsApp message. So we're going to look at live chat here and what automation functions that are available that helps you to deal with live chat cases. So again, we have chatbot enabled here. We're going to look at how the chatbot responds to the customer. So chatbot kind of helps you to deal with customers' inquiry, process customers' inquiry to get more information before passing on to a live agent. Well, if it's a general FAQ, the chatbot would then be able to assist the customer answering to general questions. Then there's no real need for a live agent to come in and answer those questions. So let's look at a chat widget here. We're going to start a conversation, and here I'm going to choose a general inquiry where I'm going to ask about certain things like working hours. So I'm going to put in my name, my email address. I'm going to put here hi there. So once I initiate the chat, we can see that the bot is greeting me and is asking me how can I assist. So maybe I would like to know more about Cention. And earlier we set up a question for working hours. Maybe I'm going to ask about the working hours. So when are you guys available for support? What are your operating hours? So as we can see here, we taught the knowledge base just a while ago on how to respond to this type of questions. So the chatbot is then, let's say if you want to ask more questions like book a demo, then it gives a link to book a demo. So the working hours question is then answered through knowledge base. Even the chatbot uses the knowledge base to as a reference so that it's able to answer back to the customer based on your recent trends. So let's have a look at how this is seen on the agent side. So once the chat comes in, the agent can have full context. We can use templates to respond back to the customer. Let's say if it's a new customer, I use this template. So the customer, there's less typing and more clicking. So we have Knowledgebase as well to refer to, and we have a translation tool so that you can, if let's say you have customers all over the world, you can use the translation tool to respond back to their native language. So it's a two-way translation. It's a really powerful tool. If you have customers all over the world, you don't need to hire a native language speaker. So while we're here, let's look at the customer's history. Cention provides a history so that you can know what is the context, what the customer what is their background. And we can also add more information into the contact card, like additional touch points if the customer has more than one email, phone number. And here's a breakdown on the unanswered cases and answered cases. So I'm going to know how many tickets that are still available by this customer so that I can proactively assist this customer moving forward. So we looked at a couple of automation features here, how it can help your team work better and faster. So I think there's going to be other upcoming webinars where we will focus on other aspects of Cention. So keep your questions coming. There's a link provided in the comments. So feel free to put in your feedback, and we would love to hear from you. So till then, let's meet on our next webinar. All of you guys have a great day. Take care. Back to you, Yasmin.
Great. Thank you, Vera, for sharing with us. And most of all, thank you everyone for being here today. If you have any further questions or would like to speak with us, don't hesitate to contact us at info@cention.com or sales@cention.com. If you'd like to see more of our webinar and would want to join our next webinar, visit our website at www.cention.com. Again, thank you everyone for joining us, and I hope to see you all in our next webinar. Bye-bye.